The Elizabeth II 1994 one-penny coin is a small but historically meaningful piece of the modern British decimal coinage system, representing not just a unit of currency, but also a continuation of the long legacy of the British monarchy's presence on coinage. This coin belongs to the decimal era of British coinage, which began officially in 1971, when the United Kingdom transitioned from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to a simpler decimal system where 100 new pence equaled £1 sterling. The 1994 one penny, therefore, is part of this modernized structure, and though at face value it may seem insignificant, its design, royal portrait, and production details tell a much broader story about the evolution of currency, the monarchy, and British society during the late 20th century. On the obverse side of the coin, we find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, who has been the central figure of British coinage since her coronation in 1953. The 1994 penny specifically features the third definitive portrait of Elizabeth II, which was designed by the sculptor Raphael Maklauf. This portrait was introduced in 1985 and remained in circulation on UK coins until 1997. Maklauf's design is well known for its regal and dignified representation of the Queen. She is depicted wearing the royal diadem, the George IV state diadem, along with earrings and a necklace, symbolizing continuity, authority, and tradition. Unlike earlier portraits, Maklauf deliberately gave the Queen a slightly more idealized and timeless look, avoiding the natural signs of aging, to ensure that the coinage carried majestic, almost iconic presence. Around the edge of the obverse, the legend reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg, FD 1994 inch. This Latin expands to Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The year 1994 appears at the bottom, indicating the date of minting. Turning to the reverse side, the design is also iconic in the context of British coinage. It features a representation of the crown portcullis with chains, which is a heraldic symbol that has long been associated with the Palace of Westminster, the historic seat of a UK Parliament. The design was created by Christopher Ironside, a talented designer whose work became the foundation of the first set of decimal coinage in 1971. The portcullis design, while simple, carries significant meaning as it represents Parliament, democracy, and the political strength of the United Kingdom. Above the portcullis is a royal crown, and the entire design is framed by the words 1 penny at the top and the denomination figure 1 at the bottom. This design remained in use for decades and is one of the most recognized images of British decimal coinage. In terms of specifications, the 1994 one-penny coin was minted in bronze. The exact composition for this year is an alloy of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. It has a weight of 3.56 grams, a diameter of 20.3 millimeters, and a thickness of approximately 1.65 millimeters. The coin has a plain, smooth edge with no milling or, which is standard for low-denomination coins like the penny. These details may seem minor, but they are part of the reason why the coin is easily recognizable and distinguishable from higher denominations, both visually and by touch. The mintage of Elizabeth II 1994 one penny was extremely high, as it was a circulation coin meant for everyday use. Millions upon millions were produced by the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, South Wales, to ensure there was an adequate supply for the British public. At this time, the one-penny coin was still very relevant in circulation, as prices of small goods and services often required pennies to complete transactions. Unlike in more recent years where inflation has diminished the coin's day-to-day importance, during the 1990s a penny was still quite commonly used in shops, vending machines, and by the general population. The historical context of this coin is also important. By 1994, Queen Elizabeth II had been on the throne for more than 40 years, and her reign had already seen several changes in both British society and its economy. The coinage reflected a stable monarchy and a modernizing economy that was adapting to the European Union, which the UK had joined in the 1970s, and to globalization. Yet the design of the penny remained rooted in tradition, carrying the symbols of Parliament and the Crown, linking the modern world with centuries of heritage. From a collector's perspective, the 1994 one penny is generally considered a common coin because of its high mintage. In circulated condition, It usually holds no premium over its face value. However, for collectors who are assembling date runs of decimal coinage, the 1994 penny is an essential piece. In uncirculated mint state condition, these coins will be worth slightly more to collectors, typically ranging from a modest premium up to a few pounds depending on quality. Special mint sets, proof sets, issued by the Royal Mint also contain examples of the 1994 penny in polished or proof finishes, and these carry greater collectible value. Proof examples are struck with extra care, polished dies, and often exhibit a mirror-like surface with frosted designs, making them highly attractive for numismatists. Another interesting aspect lies in errors and varieties. While the 1994 penny is not known for any major, widely recognized varieties, error coins can occasionally be found, such as off-center strikes, double strikes, or planchet flaws. These errors are rare but can significantly increase the value of a coin for collectors, sometimes reaching into the tens or even hundreds of pounds depending on rarity and severity of the error. The cultural significance of the penny should not be underestimated. Even though it is the smallest unit of British currency, the penny has always carried symbolic weight. The phrase, "a penny for your thoughts," and other idioms highlight its role in British culture. In 1994, people used pennies for everyday purchases such as sweets, bus fares, and phone booths, all of which connect the coin to daily life in ways that go beyond its physical metal value. Today, looking back, coins like the 1994 penny serve as reminders of an era when cash played a much more central role in society, long before the rise of contactless payments and digital banking. In summary, the Elizabeth II 1994 one penny is a small but meaningful coin that reflects a monarchy, parliament, and the evolution of British society in the 1990s. With its Macklouf portrait of the Queen and Ironside's reverse portcullis design, it embodies both tradition and modernity. While not rare in circulation, it holds a permanent place in the story of British currency and continues to interest collectors, historians, and everyday people who remember using it in their daily lives. It is a piece of national heritage, minted in the millions, circulating to the hands of countless people, and standing as a quiet but steady reminder of Britain's cultural and political identity in the late 20th century.